Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for another 2v2 cast on the map SinVain. Let's go ahead and get into introducing our players with Team Red at the top and Team Blue at the bottom. Starting in the northwest with the Red Aeon Best faction. Going first, Air, and then a lot of power generators by the name of Cots Broken. Then we can move on over to the east for his ally, the one and only Dark Red Cybran going first land, and his name, of course, will be Colorex PL. Then we can move on to Team 2, starting in the southeast this time, with the blue UEF going first land by the name of the Rasta Banana. And he's enjoying himself over here on the beach. Quite a lovely little place to holiday. As you can move over to the last player of the game, the dark blue UEF going first land by the name of Nasimka. I don't know if you're supposed to stress or unstressed syllables there, but who cares? It's all text on screen. We don't care about that. What we care about is the map, and let's talk about it really quick as I give you a beautiful view of it. It's an ugly map, guys. I'm sorry. It's hard to look at. I'm struggling to look at it. It's like somebody took the contrast filter and moved it to max and then added some Nintendo 64 graphics. The map itself is a decent map. I like the layout of it. I like the design of it. So it's a 20-kilometer Navy map with some interesting aspects. Usually 20-kilometer Navy maps, they're kind of eco-fests. You get a lot of mass. Here, you're really not going to see that. There are a decent number of mass extractors, but not nearly enough here to easily support T3 naval production or mass T2 naval production. So these players are going to have to make some hard choices, and I think that Air is going to have a huge way? What am I speaking about? I know how to speak, I promise. It's going to have a huge impact on how these players play the game. Thinking torpedo bombers and ASF is going to be very important, and of course, this game is going to go for the late game, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we see those big old T3 navies. Maybe they save up their pennies, they do their financial investments well, and it works out for the better. Of course, that's enough of speculating on what this game will be. Let's go ahead and, of course, talk about something much more important. Go down below and consider clicking the like or subscribe button if you're liking it and you do enjoy the content. After all, you're here 3 minutes in. May as well click that red button, turn it gray, and make everybody happy. And the dislike button if you're not enjoying it. I encourage you. Now, of course, there's one last button down there I need to have your attention drawn to, the join button. It allows you to join the channel membership, which supports this channel oh so much, and if you are of the mini dualities tier or higher, you get access to every video 12 to 24 hours earlier, and that, of course, is a benefit for you, and it helps the channel a lot, as I said. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see what these players are up to. The first thing I notice is a T1 bomber out from Nasimka, heading up the western side of this map, heading towards the base of Cots Broken. See if it can get anything done, although Cots Broken has some interceptors laying around, and those are going to be quite effective at the entire, killing the T1 bomber thing. Because your interceptors, they go up in the scare. They go up in the scare, everybody. They go up in the air, they go pew pew, and then the bomber goes kerblue. And of course, this bomber, maybe it gets one bomb off? Nope, doesn't even manage it. That's a very depressing bomber. Have to pay respects. Now then, over here to the... Ooh, there's another T1 bomber. We're not going to track that one. Of course, over here to the east, I think we have... Oh, I thought I saw something spicier than I did. It's just a power generator grid. Okay. I thought I saw these symbols and then I saw that. I was like, is he building like a wall of energy storage for a second? That's why I was about to really rag on Rasta Banana. Nasimka has a transport. Let's go ahead and see what he is transporting around. It looks like it's just engineers, no tanks for protection or anything of that sort. UEF transports they do look pretty cool, don't they? Look at these engineers. They're just along for the ride, having a grand time in their little transport lives. And of course, this is going to be a huge boon to the expansion efforts of Nasimka. He's going to have a lot more production with these added mass extractors, and if there is reclaim on these islands, you can be sure that he will be scooping it up. Speaking of Nasimka and the other players in this game is a 2v2 TMM game, so you can see the ratings up there in the top right. And of course, we need to talk about something in particular in relation to those ratings, and that is how far they spread. It's not very common to see this much of a spread in either of the TMMs, but 700 to 1500 rating change between these players. Nasimka and Rasta Banana are currently, they're at the ends of the spectrum. They're the far left and the far right. They're over here with 790 for Rasta Banana and Nasimka at 1525. So that's going to mean that Nasimka is going to probably be one of the strongest players in the game, and Rasta Banana is going to probably be one of the weaker players in the game. Of course, Colorex PL and Cots Broken are much closer in rating, for 1044 for Cots Broken and 1331 for Colorex. So that is kind of our rating. Our rating spread there. And of course, we're already seeing a lot of expansion out over here for Colorex, and of course for Nasimka. Nasimka seemingly has forgotten 2 of his mass extractors, but he has done a little bit better at getting to these other islands so far. And that's a large wave of interceptors now heading down to the south now. I don't think tracking groups of units works very well. Engineers dropped off over here from Rasta Banana. He's going to be able to start reclaiming that SAM and maybe a few other things. And over here to the north, there is a T2 Pigeon, and it seems that's what he's trying to drop on. A bunch of interceptors come through, but they don't lock on properly, and the transport does manage to drop its payload, but the engineers themselves are still at risk because there's a T1 bomber. It comes in and it's lights out for those engineers. Probably going to get a second pass onto this last engineer. It's not going to be able to get anything done. Going for the capture on the T2 power, that is what I would call ambitious. And that is going to be a very dead engineer. F to pay respects for that engineer like we did for those bombers earlier. And of course, or that bomber earlier. Over here to the west, a T1 frigate currently. I mean, I guess there aren't any T2 frigates, so what am I talking about? Beacon class Aeon frigate killing off a UEF mass extractor, which is always what you love to see. Aeon supremacy reigning strong this game. As over here to the north, a T1 sub out from Nasimka going to die. Is it going to trade with the sub out from Cots Broken? No, it does not. So that is very, very interesting. Going to be a very nice kind of micro win there for Cots Broken. Although the micro win was more of a micro fail out of Nasimka than it was a win on his part. These subs are supposed to trade. But of course, with the frigate being there with its tactical missile defense, or torpedo defense, not tactical missile defense, and with maybe a little bit of a micro misplay out of Nasimka, that could have been the cause of that. Over here to the center of the map. Yeah, you see what I mean by this map is hard to look at? What's in this water? Why does this water look like it's pixelated? Why is the water pixelated? Either way, frigates chasing frigates. The Beacon class actually doing quite well for itself. It slightly seems to outrange the Thunderhead frigate. So running away seems to be a decent strategy as of the moment for Cots Broken. And now he's going to have 3 units versus 1 unit for Nasimka. And that usually only goes one way at the T1 phase, of course. So he does decide to fall back there. Large naval presence now showing up for Cots Broken, doing quite well for himself. Has a transport on the way, seemingly going to aggressively expand to this island that, by all rights, goes to Rasta Banana and Nasimka. Over here to the east, there is a submarine currently killing off mass extractors. You love to see it out from Colorex, I don't know. Kevin. His name's Kevin, okay? I can't do consonants and vowels. They're too difficult. We should get rid of both of them. Just no more consonants, no more vowels. We should just come up with a new word or a new letter type to encompass all of it. Stop making it difficult. Over here to the west, we have a force out from Kots Broken. May be able to send that down south. I mean, there's a lot of production, sure, but Nasimka is heavily lacking on overall naval units. He has plenty of production. He's already up to T2. He's had to pause work on a Valiant-class destroyer. Has some Riptides coming out to the water now. Riptide's going to be very useful. Of course, it's going to be difficult. They do have to get in range of whatever they're hitting, and they have a very short range. But once they are in range, they do a ton of damage and trade very well into the naval units out from Kots Broken. And, of course, Colorex. And over here, to the east, there is a equally sizable force out from Colorex. He's going to be able to put a lot of pressure down onto the naval factories very soon. He could be a little bit more aggressive if he felt like it. T2 now on the way for Kots Broken, who has decided to walk his comm all the way out here. Man, he really wants this power generator, huh? Interesting. Over here to the west, T1 bomber out for Nasimka. Going to be continuing to bomb these frigates and the occasional engineer. The Inties, surprisingly, out from Kots Broken, not really too focused on killing off the bombers, just letting them get about as many drops as you could hope for. And of course, the beacon, not having anti-air means that it's going to struggle a little bit with killing off bombers themselves. T2 about to finish up for Kots Broken. Colorex PL is in the center of the map and he's underwater, and yeah, seriously, this water, it looks so bad. What is this? It don't look good. Stop it. Okay, you know what? It looks good from here. This looks fine. This look bad. If you're the map creator of this map, seriously, I think your map does a lot better if you stop trying to overdo it with the visual vomit that you threw on it. Also, like these rocks, I'm feeling really Nintendo 64 with these rocks. Am I the only one? Is that just me? Either way. We, of course, are not here to talk about map design. We're here to talk about much more important things, like the fact that this T2 flak did not decide to shoot at that transport until it was already pretty much out of range. So a T2 engineer, from the look of it, is going to be able to drop over here and possibly just take over this area. If it just builds a T1 PD, it definitely secures it for his team. So Colorex going to be happy with that little excursion, however you say the word. As long as he doesn't forget, and maybe he'll just try and reclaim. Yeah, he's just going to reclaim that engineer. Could even capture these mexes if he doesn't want to build them himself. And a nice little drop out from Colorex. Let's go ahead and speed it up. We haven't had enough action to really warrant us being on this slow speed anyways. As we have Auroras over here, killing off a T1 mechs out from Nasimka, and this Aurora drop going to continue. Team 1 getting a lot of value out of these transports. Over here to the west, we have those Riptides from earlier, along with a Valiant-class destroyer and some interceptors to boot, showing up to try and push back this force out of Kots Broken and maybe even get into his production line. Interesting little play coming out there. And, of course, the Valiant, along with the T1 forces at hand here, are going to be more than enough to kill off quite a few of these frigates, although not sure I'd be as confident as Nasimka walking up right here. That's a lot of frigates to contend with. Is there any angle where this water looks passable? Kind of top down. It looks okay. Gonna be hard to find the thumbnail with this one, everybody. As here to the west, it seems the naval engagement's finally kicking off. Boats go burr and all. And that's gonna be this Valiant class going down pretty quickly, in fact. It's not dead yet. But all of these beacons pouring their damage into that Valiant, it's not gonna live for very long. And of course, a lot of beacons gonna go down. The Valiant living longer than I kind of expected it to. It definitely can't fight off all of these beacon classes by itself, and with the constant reinforcement of beacon classes and the occasional Aurora showing up, the Aurora adds no value to the actual fight itself other than distracting units that could be shooting your frigates in this situation. In other situations, the Aurora can be used to distract units from shooting your destroyer, which is also very nice. And the frigates continuing to fight it out over here. They're going to get the Valiant. It's a valiant effort for sure out from Cots Broken. But he does get the Valiant, and he is going to be very happy, as over here to the east, there is a destroyer-on-destroyer hot and heavy action. Big cannons and bigger explosions afoot over here to the east. And, of course, everything kind of calming down for the moment. The Valiant class really distracted by these structures on this island here. I thought it was a cliff for a second, but no, it is indeed flat, so the Valiant just going to be able to kill off all of those mass extractors. T1 bombers yet again coming out from Nasimka. No, these are T2 torpedo bombers coming in. That's going to be a dead frigate. If they get another pass, they can just kill off another frigate. I don't know if this is an efficient trade. 2 frigates for 4 torpedo bombers doesn't seem particularly efficient to me. But it's a trade. You can make that trade even. And of course, Swift Winds out on the field now for Cots Broken. Unfortunately for the Swift Winds though, they're going to be running into a Governor class cruiser out from Nasimka, and he's going to be able to use that to really just give himself a little bit more control. Of course, it only takes 5 torpedo bombers to kill off any of the cruisers. So you already have 4 right here. There's 5 right there. You can go ahead and kill off that cruiser if you so feel like it. Of course, that does mean that you are most likely sacrificing those. And there's a T3 bomber out from Nasimka. I'd like to look at the eastern side, but the western side is just so much more interesting as of the moment. And of course, with this Strategerio bomber, gonna see some real damage start to take place. There are Swift Winds in the air. Swift Winds can chase down an ambassador. But that's gonna be 2 T2 mechs going down, along with some power generation, something I'm sure that Cots Broken would have wanted to avoid at the very least. And now with the Strategerio bomber, I don't know why I'm saying it all funny, coming back around, going to be dropping yet another bomb, killing off 2 more. Nope, just 1. He misaimed it just a little bit. Just 1 more T2 mechs. A T2 mech's finishing up right there off screen, or on screen for you. And a ASF now out to boot, going to be able to try and chase down the Strat Bomber, but it just overshoots. Goes right past the Strat Bomber. And oh no, it's a disaster. The Gemini over here, it's locked on, but it's not gonna stop this bomb from falling, and that bomb gonna pick up another T3 mass extractor, or T2 mass extractor, not T3, my bad. And the Strat Bomber tried to do some fancy micro, but does indeed fail there. And that is going to be a really efficient Strat Bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T3 or T2 mexes, not T3 mexes. Is not a bad trade, but over here to the east, does Colorex have torpedo? No, he doesn't. Is Colorex just dead? Oh, that's a lot of T1 subs. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's been wandering with his comm for a bit, but he wandered just a bit too far this time. And those T1 subs and the occasional destroyer torpedo gonna spell the end of this Cybran comm. Very unfortunate for Team 1, highest rated player going down. And that is going to leave the burden on Team 1's Cots Broken to try and recover this situation all by his lonesome. He does have a strong economy. Also, we can look at Reclaim really quickly. 3.4 thousand for the dead Colorex. Rest in peace. F to pay your respects. I don't know why I keep on saying F to pay your respects. I need to stop. It's... Oh my god. I know that meme is dead. It's been dead, but still. 5.9 thousand for Rasta Banana. He's doing very well. 5.8 thousand for Nasimka, and Cots Broken the lowest at 2.3 thousand. Overall economies 137 for Cots Broken, which is more than the combined economies of Nasimka and Rasta Banana. So Cots Broken not in an unwinnable position. It's gonna be difficult to say the least, but he still has a shot in this game. And let's see what he does with his one shot, his one opportunity to seize the W he always wanted. Will he capture it or just let it slip? Mom spaghetti. As over here to the east, there are, of course, a few destroyers out on both flanks now. We have a decent amount of T2 out for Cots Broken. He's trying to be aggressive with it. Over here to the south, with all of that Navy dying due to the comm exploding, I think a few subs went down, means that this area is a little bit light on naval presence. Of course, you can always just wait for, well, apparently Coopers to show up. You can wait for Coopers and for Valiants to show up and kind of deal with this, but you're going to have to cede some control for a little bit if you are Rasta Banana. And over here to the west is a errant ASF out from Cots Broken, along with a bunch of T1 bombers kind of sharking around, trying to find anything of value they could possibly kill or damage. And the naval presence for Cots Broken looking very strong. He does have a lot of Navy out on the field. Of course, needs to be careful. Doesn't necessarily have the air advantage right now. I would say that Nasimka's doing a little bit better on overall ASF production and count. But he does have this naval presence, and he can try and leverage that into getting some damage down onto Nasimka very soon. And over here to the east, he doesn't have a shabby Navy either. He's not necessarily overwhelmingly ahead of Rasta Banana on overall naval units. He has some nice quality units over here. He's not going to be under too much pressure anytime soon. Air fight breaks out over here, goes the way of Nasimka, and of course, keeping on route with that air pressure and air control out from Nasimka. He has another ambassador on the way to send out a message to all those who may think about doing foreign relations with the UEF. And what he's going to say is, well, I'm sorry, UEF, we're really not good at this whole negotiating thing. We're just going to blow you up. And true to form, does exactly that to that T2 power. Not really going to hurt Cots Broken just yet. If this bomber can maybe get another bomb down and kill off that T3 power generator, that could be huge. But of course, it would need 3 bombs to do that. And that is actually kind of just going to be a mass dump with the multiple T3 power that are already online. That is just going to be a mass dump. That's just going to be free reclaim over there for Cots Broken. And Cots Broken sitting on a very strong economy. He's ecoed very well behind this, nearly up 50 mass a second, about 40 at the moment on Team 2. And that's going to be T2 factories going down. The T2 HQ may be under threat from this attack out from Cots Broken. There is torpedo bombers, or there are torpedo bombers out in the water that could very easily cause an issue here. But there's just so little Navy over here for Nasimka. If Cots Broken can just continue and shut down the T2 naval production. Unfortunately for him, though, Nasimka may have made a bit of a mistake. He has 2 T2 naval HQs. Maybe that was on purpose. But him having 2 of these means that the T2 naval production won't stop due to this death, and it won't even die. So that was a little bit of a fumble out from Cots Broken. He got a good win navally, but he wasn't able to sustain that victory long enough to deal any meaningful damage. May have been better to just kind of ignore the factories and go for some T2 mexes. Of course, hindsight always 2020. As over here to the east, a naval engagement has gone horribly for Rasta Banana, and now he just doesn't have anything. What happened to your Navy, brother? What happened to it? It's gone. He doesn't have any Navy. It's just poof, kabloom, just out of this world. Insane. We're gonna go ahead and just speed this up to +1 for a little bit. As over here to the west, we have a counter push now coming out from Nasimka and a control K? Was that a error? Or did he actually... Oh! Rasta Banana has decided that he is done with this game. So now it's Kotzbroken versus Nasimka. It's a 1v1. Unfortunately for Nasimka, Kotzbroken's had this double base for a bit longer, and he's managed it well enough to have a stronger economy than Nasimka. Unfortunately for Kotzbroken, though, this is a very big thing we're probably going to start seeing. Nasimka's going to flex the fact that he probably has more APM. Generally, higher rating you go, the more APM you have, or the more efficient you are at doing every individual task, so you do each task faster. Not necessarily that you are just like hitting keys faster or giving commands faster. It's that you're able to handle more because most of it's done by autopilot. And of course, with this artillery drop, he's going to get a ton of value. There's nothing in the area to stop this. You need gunships or a T1 bombers to be able to deal with this. And at the moment, Kotzbroken just does not have the answers. Fortunately for Kotzbroken, though, he is giving as good as he's getting right now. As over here to the east, the T3 land HQ that for some reason Rasta Banana had is gonna die, along with all the naval production over here, and assumedly all of these T2 mass extractors on this mainland are dead and forgotten in the eyes of Nasimka, and he's just gonna lose basically an entire second base. And that's really gonna cut down his economy even more so than he's doing to Kotzbroken. He was trying to get some engineer micro off there, did not work out for him. Needs T1 bombers. If you're ever in this position and you have T3 air, just spam out some T1 bombers. They will deal with it, I promise you. You can trust me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Willow man. And over here to the west, a naval engagement taking place between a few units out from Nasimka. His units are a little bit separated, and he's just constantly having this issue. He just constantly feels like he's light on the naval forces, and now it's kind of just this overwhelming presence. I mean, most of it is, of course, T1 subs, and T1 subs they're all right. They're not great. They're not really mass efficient. But when your opponent has nothing, they'll do the job just fine. So Nasimka being pushed back. Over here in the center, this T2 Cybern fleet that was gifted over to Kotzbroken whenever Colorex died is just continuing to cause trouble, and it's just continuing to gain efficiency. It's killing off so many mass extractors, so much economical production going down over here. I kind of wish he would have gone full hog over here and just killed off the last of the factories and engineers, but I think he felt the need to maybe pull his forces over here and conglomerate his navy to do a large push onto the main base of Nasimka. Does have his own ASF force now showing up to try and stop these torpedo bombers from dealing any more significant damage. A air fight about to ensue over here to the west. Seems as though Kotzbroken has just decided that he has the air advantage, and honestly, I can't argue with him there. He's gonna split up his air force though, and that's, oh no, the micro, he had more, he definitely had more, and he still has a chance of winning this. But separating his air force like that was a mistake. Should have sent all of it to one or the other. Those two torpedo bombers that came back in were worth a ton of value now due to that indecisiveness and lack of micro out from Kotzbroken. He now has ASF kind of waffling over a T1AA. I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference, but you don't generally want to do that. It's kind of a bad practice. Seems that the Lobos were cleared up, and now there's a T3 engineer coming out over here, assumedly to re-expand. The naval and air fight continues to wage constantly over here on the west. And he's brought these Cybern units all the way over here. He's gone through the trouble and the struggle of bringing all of these units over here to the western flank. He's going for a big, decisive blow. He wants to knock Nasimka out of the water, and that is a reasonable goal here, but Nasimka's seen this coming. He's gotten more T2 production up down here to the south, which could just be a sneaky play, and he's been doing well with the air, so maybe we're going to see him show up with a whole bunch of torpedo bombers. He's going to have to build them right now, but if he builds enough torpedo bombers here, can just start to shut this down, but the T2 naval production is almost assuredly going to be destroyed here. And Kot's Broken playing very well, punching very high above his weight class as these naval units continue to siege down the naval production out for Nasimka. Why use few big boat when many little boat do trick? As this is definitely a quantity force, but it also has a certain air of quality to it because it's not just a bunch of T1. It's got the T2 mixed in. There is a lot of T1, don't get me wrong. And the base now for Nasimka under siege. And oh no, he's just starting to lose some of his long-lasting economy. And Nasimka being put into a very, very difficult position as these naval forces out from Kot's Broken do not relent and continue to pressure Nasimka with everything possible. And Nasimka walks forward with the UEF comm. He's just trying to overcharge all of these boats dead. He's going dangerously low on HP, but he gets a rank of veterancy. No! So close to victory was Kot's Broken. But at the last second, his force had its back broken. And now, he's hoping for another chance at poking that UAF comm. Can't think of another rhyme. As he does have some more T2 units. The unfortunate issue is, though, yeah, that's 31 torpedo bombers. I think that's enough torpedo bombers to theoretically, like, kill off a battle cruiser. Maybe it's not enough, but it's gonna be a lot of damage, and those two destroyers don't stand much of a chance. As we meander into the 35-minute mark, there is a battleship finished up now for Kot's Broken. He is gotten T3 Navy himself for the Aeon. Might be able to see some kind of spicy play. Maybe we have a, I don't know, what's the name of it? Maybe we have a silencer play. Yeah. Make a play with a silencer. You've already confirmed that you just have more economy. Kot's Broken is economically just in a much better position. He's just lacking the small micro. And if you can just get something that you can't out micro onto the field, then you can very easily win. A nuke is one of those very few things that micro just doesn't help you with. You can't out micro a shield. Trust me. If you could, people wouldn't build them nearly as often. A bunch of cruisers now being produced by Kot's Broken to try and fight this air battle. Unfortunately, you kind of just need ASF. He's building up a bigger air grid, which you like to see. But these torpedo bombers just go into town, and really, Nasimka showing the value of winning air on this map. I think earlier on I was talking about how air might have something to play on this map with the lack of mass extractors and how expensive Navy is. And these torpedo bombers are really making a strong case for air is the real play on this map. Restorers coming out onto the field now for Kot's Broken. If you could get a ball of restorers, like one big enough to ward off ASF, that could be huge. He's starting to build a strat bomber, maybe multiple. He's starting to build up strat bombers, maybe gonna opt for a snipe. Nasimka has slowly managed to re-expand out over here to the east, but he's over 100 mass a second behind Kot's Broken. Kotzbroken is just in the driver's seat. He just doesn't quite understand how the steering wheel works. He's really struggling with it, although he is up against somebody who, I want to stress this again, is just a better player than him, statistically speaking. That's what the rating system is. It's a statistical speaking measurement of how good you are, and it's entirely based off, do you win more than you lose? As over here to the north, a bunch of frigates making their way in for some harassment. One big thing we're going to see here, Nasimka is most likely going to be able to shut down a lot of this production. If he gets in here with these frigates and is able to just free reign, kill off these engineers, it's really going to slow down the production of T3 and T2 Navy over here out of this base. Another Torrent-class missile ship, 2 Torrents, out onto the field, more than you usually see, so gotta give credit where credit's due. But the engineers, they're going down, and that's gonna feel horrible for Kotzbroken. He does have a large naval force sitting right here, but he doesn't have a way to address the mass torpedo bomber that's been kind of plaguing him for about the past 5 to 10 minutes. He needs a solution to it, and he needs it right now. Torpedo bombers now coming in. They're going to be continuing to try and kill off this naval force out from Kotzbroken. He's trying to go for this mass cruiser route, but I just feel it won't work as well as you would hope. The one thing you could do is, like, the restorers could kill off torpedo bombers. They won't really have much issue killing off torpedo bombers. But this is what's going to happen. If you only have a couple of restorers, the ASF come in, and before you get any meaningful anti-air damage, they go down. And it's just looking like, despite having this massive eco advantage, Kotzbroken is unable to wield it. It's an unwieldy economy for him. He's able to spend his mass, which is admirable, but what is he going to do about this air advantage that Nasimka has crafted for himself? Well, Nasimka's going to start throwing away by letting Torrents kill off ASF. And Kotzbroken continuing to try and make something happen with his Air Force. I still think he's outnumbered, and if he takes a wrong turn, it's just going to continue to be what it's been for a while, and he doesn't look at it. Ugh! I feel the pain. He's managing something else. Every time an air fight happens, he's not looking at it, and it just hurts. It hurts a lot, because I know the pain he's going through on such a personal level. And Kotz is putting up such a hell of a fight. Come on, Nasimka, don't you have a heart? Give it to him. Oh, Nasimka's planning a continental drop with Titans. That is cruel, Nasimka. That is stooping pretty low. He still has a good chance of winning this game, but Kotzbroken, I'm not trying to, like, play favorites here, or, I mean, I guess maybe I am, but I'm not trying to, like, I don't know how this game ends. I don't watch replays to the end. I watch the first 30 minutes, zoom into the corner, and then let it go from there. That's how I do replay review, in case you were ever curious. I don't know who wins. But what I do know is this is painful to watch right now. Not only because the map is, like, eye-gratingly horrible, but because I feel like Kotzbroken has to win this. Come on, Kotzbroken, you can do it! I'm rooting for the Aeon, and I'm rooting for the lower rated player. You gotta root for the underdog, okay? And over here, the air game is just not where Kotzbroken shines, but he does have Torrents online now. They die pretty easily to air, and that's kind of the issue we're gonna run into. But if the Torrents can get meaningful damage down, I mean, there's even some T3 mass extractors. Torrents only need a couple of volleys to kill off a T3 mass extractor. This one could already be firing on one. In fact, is. And that T3 mass extractor is going to go down quickly. What is this? Why is there a circuit board on the planet? Out of nowhere. The map designer had too many thoughts, and most of them were bad. Okay. Fire your missiles. Stop moving, you dumb fucking chips. Okay. I got my thumbnail. That's what the thumbnail is going to be, everybody. As this pitiful T1 naval force is trying to assail Kotzbroken's incredible air naval supremacy, that's starting to get to be a lot of cruisers. Like, that's a lot of cruisers. That is difficult to deal with. It still can be dealt with from the air, but you're starting to get to that zone where, hey, how are you going to deal with this? And torpedo bombers can't be the answer. I mean, I guess they can still, but like, you're starting to trade real inefficiently with the torpedo bombers, it feels. Maybe not. Maybe 5 torpedo bombers is worth it. Like, let's do some quick maths. 270 times 5, that's gonna be like 1,300-ish. 1,300 mass. Versus Kotzbroken building these cruisers sitting at 2,000. So never mind, they're mass efficient to trade. Why is that? Why are torpedo bombers mass efficient to trade with basically the anti-air of T2? Doesn't feel right. As over here to the east, we have a large attack coming out from Nasimka. He's built up a silent kind of giant naval force, and he's going in to try and go for the jugular of the naval production of Kotzbroken, and he just doesn't have enough here. He's built, or did he lose all? He lost all the engineers. He was building destroyers very quickly, but at the moment he's not. And oh no! How did the air grid die? I was too busy monologuing. My guess is air. My guess is strat bombers, because that makes actually kind of some sense. Is that a strat bomber wreck? Oh yeah, that's a strat bomber wreck, and it's an ambassador. Okay, ambassadors. They killed off the air grid. The Navy over here, though, surprisingly, Nasimka lost all of that Navy. He's just unable to get a naval victory. This man is allergic to winning Navy. But unfortunately, he's winning air so good that it's starting to seem impossible for him to lose the game. Kotzbroken, come on. You can do it. Just build a nuke. Build a nuke sub. Come on, man. Imagine if he had built a nuke sub way back whenever I mentioned it being a good idea. I still don't think there's an anti-nuke. Oh my god, if he had built one, he just straight up wins. Nasimka loses air production, he loses game. Is that simple. Oh, but it seems as though strat bombers came in and managed to kill off one of the T3 pigeons. I mean, that's something. Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like enough of something. He's just building frigates out of all of these naval factories, isn't he? He really likes frigates. As we meander towards the 50-minute mark, neither side closer to victory than they were 10 to 15 minutes ago. Although Kotzbroken is starting to feel like he's run out of steam. He has yet another massive naval incursion into the Bay of Nasimka. This isn't enough. Also, this torrent is at a rank of veterancy, which is impressive. And in comes all of the Navy, yet again for Kotzbroken. Is it going to be enough this time? That's a ton of frigates over there. Will all of the Navy be enough? It's a lot of cruisers. It's going to take a while to burn through all those cruisers, honestly. The ASF count, though, for Cots Broken may as well not exist, so he can just continue to build nothing but torpedo bombers. And it won't be any skin off his back. Although Nasimka is now dangerously close to just losing his air production. Yes, get in. Tell all of the cruisers to just focus down the power generators. You can do it. You can do it, Cots Broken. I believe in you. He's wasting torpedo bombers on stupid things like destroyers. Oh, but he has the Aeon cruisers, so they have really short range. Oh, can he manage it? And now there's some naval units showing up for Nasimka. He's firing. What is he firing at? No, not the Titans. Ignore the Titans. The Titans are a distraction. Kill the power. No. Not. Okay. Cots Broken. He's losing his naval production over here to the northeast. I know I've completely lost all of the respect of people expecting an unbiased caster, but you're here for me being an idiot. We all know that. And Cots Broken is getting strangled out of this game. He's about to lose his T3 Cybran HQ. And it's looking a bit hopeless. He doesn't even have the naval advantage anymore. He still has an incredible economy. If only he had built a nuke sub with it. Just one. He only needed one. Just one nuke sub wins this game for him. You gotta think smarter, not harder, everybody. And you gotta work smarter, not harder. As him trying to win with Navy, it didn't work for him. It's very difficult against somebody who knows what they're doing with air and can maintain their air control to do anything against mass torpedo bomber. And Cots Broken has put up one hell of a fight. But unfortunately, it seems it wasn't enough. The Cerberus are getting quite a bit of value on all these frigates. Gonna ward the frigates away for now. More strat bombers coming in. He's just streaming in strat bombers. In a vain hopes that he can get something. But unfortunately, you will find nothing but pain and despair. As we can go ahead and speed up the game a little bit more, it's feeling more and more over by the minute. More battleships are going to pour out of the base of Cots Broken. And he still, as I said, has this massive economy. But he can't keep anything in the water, and now that the air advantage is completely and utterly in the hands of Nasimka, it feels like it's a matter of time before we start seeing strat bombers just killing off everything across the map. In fact, would be surprised if I don't already see strat bombers in the production queue. For some reason, he's not building Wasps, he's building T1 interceptors. Don't know what that's about, honestly. Building a lot of engineers. Has a nuke eliminator. Is there a nuke build? Did he do like a sneaky nuke build somewhere? Oh, he did a nuke build, but it won't be enough, sadly. I don't feel. I mean, that's going up pretty quick, but I think the anti-nuke is going up even quicker. No, the anti-nuke. Nasimka's stalling mass. Oh, we have a game, everybody. Oh my, the nuke will launch sooner because he's not stalling mass. Cots Broken can't spin mass because he killed off all of his production. I mean, he can, but it's infinitely harder than it is for you. And sure, he may have lost Navy, but nuke Nuke can do a lot for him right now. If he nukes, he gets the air grid, he has air, he's already shown an aptitude for building strat bombers, and that's what he'll need. He may even have the air advantage right now, in fact. The nuke is done! Launch it! That better launch the second it's done. Come on. Launch. It's launching, everybody. Oh my god! The clutch! He got the nuke off! He got it off! The mad lad! He did it! Nasimka's almost assuredly moved his comm, and he is still in a very strong position, but this means that this game is not over yet, boys and girls. Actually, like, it's more like boys and girl. Oh. Oh, yes. The base that has caused so much struggle for for Kot's Broken is broken. And he is sitting on a massive economy. All he has to do is make sure his ACU doesn't die here. Assist that shield, damn it. Make sure the ACU doesn't die. And you win. You can very easily win the game. That's Titans. Titans not good. Wait, does he have Titans left over? Oh, if he gets transports, he can transport Titans over to the island. No! Well, no, he can't because there's a lot of AA. Artillery is going up. Kot's Broken's building more shields. It looks like he may pull through. He can keep building nukes too if he so feels like it. But strat bombers are the call right now. Build strat bombers. Oh no, Kot's Broken getting shot at by a Valiant. Oh, but he gets underneath the shield of a Radiance. The radiant heat of that shield, keeping him happy and alive. Oh, this is it's so tense. Kot's Broken has suffered he's suffered a lot, but he may be able to clutch it out now that he's gotten rid of so much of Nasimka's base. There's no more air production. It'll take him a very long time to get back up to T3 air. You have ASF, you have the air advantage by a country mile. Now you just have to use it and keep your comm safe. The ASF coming over to try and protect. The mass T1 transport drop of one Titan at a time. Well, it's coming. But I don't think Titans do anything when you have all this T1 PD. The frigates are going to slowly be cleaned out here by this artillery, if given time. Actually, that may be a lie. Yeah, the artillery is going to have a lot of struggles with actually hitting those frigates, because it's within the minimum range. But Kot's Broken has a... Oh my lord, he just won an air fight! Somebody grab the picture, somebody... Baby's first air fight win! Sorry. that was mean. But he won an air fight. He started to build torpedo bombers. I don't know why I don't see a bunch of strat bombers. That's torpedo bomber. Where are the revenants? Come on, buddy. Come on, I believe in you. And your abilities to build air units that will win you the game right now. Come on. Come on, Kot's Broken. You can do it. Wait, what are you doing? Kot's Broken is walking his comm towards the frigates. No, Kot's Broken! You haven't lost! Don't walk into the water! It's dangerous there! No! What? Accident! No! Kots! I need a moment. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Join the channel membership to get access to videos just like these. 24 to 12 to 24 hours earlier. Thank you to the Patreons, they're beautiful. Like and subscribe if you feel COTS should have won this game. And if you don't, fuck you. Stay beautiful. This is Willow, signing off.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.